What's up, folks? How's everybody doing? Switch over to chat here. Hello, Nightmare. I don't know who else is with me. I know I'm watching myself at the moment, so well, I'm not watching myself. I'm on the chat part, so I hope everybody's well. Who's listening or not? I know there's a lot of things going on, so I'm good. But Nightmare, there you are. Hold on, I gotta put my necklaces on. Always put them on for the stream. Sometimes you can't see them, especially when I talk about scary stuff. Well, stuff that you know what I'm saying. So, how you having a good week, Nightmare, so far? Your week? I've been working, so you have to forgive me. Been work. Go. Just bumped to you too. But yeah, just hanging. See who all flows in tonight. Let's see how the night goes. There we go. I love these two necklaces. The dragon here is from Edna. This is from Gemma. Edna and Gemma. But yeah, I'm just hanging out. See who shows and see what we can tell. I have a couple other people encounters I'm going to talk about tonight. Hopefully the one I got that I hope gives a little bit of scare, but we'll see. Like I said, I'm not the best storyteller in town, so there's some great ones out there. So, Bolin, even Steve Stockton. There's a couple other ones out there who know how to tell a story. So, a couple of ladies out there are really good at it too. So. Other than that, been a casual Wednesday. I've been go. Move some stuff around in the yard. It's nice and cool here. And it's nice. This is my type of weather. And anywhere between well, actually, I like it cold. But if I have to maintain, it's going to be a big gap, but about 45 to about 65. I'm happy. The only problem is we're going into an early fall, I think. And my allergies are 40. I have allergies all year round, but fall and spring, man, they destroy me. But I'm good, hanging. Oh yeah, I know. Some of you folks out west are getting slammed. Welcome to come out in here, hang out with me. I'll take you to a Browns game. At least be fun. Cleveland's not as bad as everybody says it is. There's a lot worse places. But yeah, I know it's hot down there. I'm not sure where you're at, but I know everything from Texas up, all the way up almost to the Dakotas. I've had it pretty toasty. But we're going to get rid of that. We're going to get rid of it. Last night, it got down to like 45 here. You would have been jealous. I actually woke up and was like, brr. Because I leave the fan on. He has central air, and I just shut everything off and just keep my room at room temperature as much as I can. You're on the West Coast, so yeah, you're getting slammed. You should be changing here fairly soon, though. Your temperature should be slowing down here pretty soon. So yeah, I would say by the end of the week, we're supposed to warm up. That heat is supposed to start to shift. I still feel bad for the central because they've been slammed from, like I said, Texas all the way almost straight up. They've been slammed, and then you got all the southern states from Texas over, and Arizona. Well, from about Texas to Alabama, Louisiana, all them. They've been getting slammed, and the West Coast gets slammed with the rain consistently. I don't know if I'd rather have it wet and hot and that much rain, or cold. I'd probably say cold. But yeah, I'm sure you're hurting there. It's not pleasant. But yeah, you should be losing those temperatures here soon for a little bit, I think. You'll get some cool air for a little bit. You're also supposed to be getting some rain, I think. I know the northern West Coast is going to get rain if they're not getting it now. But we're supposed to have an early fall. I'm not sure about that. Then again, we've had some late falls lately too, so this weather's so screwed up. It really is. I've seen a couple more, at least one other person join us. Hello, thank you for coming in. But yeah, it's nice here right now. I'm not going to complain. We're at on the West Coast. Are you in California, Nightmare? Well, I guess either that or Washington. I don't know if you call Ohio East Coast. I always thought it was Central. Yep. Okay. I mean, it's like basically the West Coast is California and Mexico. So yeah. Well, the Bahamas. What do they call it? But yeah. You like it there? Hey Shelly, how you doing, sweetie? I hope you're good. Thank you for coming in. Yeah, this weather here, I'm enjoying it. Been able to get some work done outside. But see, that's the thing. It may be cool, but it is like it's night and it's 8. Oh, geez. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of sleeping in the heat, so I get that. And I don't know how does it get humid out there? That's the thing about Florida, 88, and it would feel like 90, and you would literally step outside like here, and you just immediately start to sweat. The air immediately starts sucking the moisture out of you. I'm cold. Yeah, it's chilly here too. It's good to see you too. It's cold. I'm chilly. I got the chills. But yeah, I hate. That's the one thing I hate about Ohio is it's kind of like I'd say from Ohio. Well, I'd say from about Illinois over to about Jersey. It is bipolar weather here. Now tomorrow, we're supposed to heat back up over the weekend, then cool back off again about midweek. Yeah, it's I think what were we when I last looked? We're already down to 56 here. Nightmares, Matt. That's good sleeping weather now. But I'm afraid if we get what we call an Indian summer, it might cause some problems. It'll be interesting to see what kind of winter we get. I usually try to pick the winners. I don't anymore. It's just crazy. Much that affects the two levels down. We huh. Am I okay now, guys? My internet. My internet. Give me a second. See what's going on here. Hey, Ron Forrest. Let's see what we're doing here. I know it's cutting out. I was a little worried here. Still am a little bit, but it's better than it was. Sometimes when I have YouTube on, it gives me a problem. But my internet, actually, I'm watching my internet. It's not my internet. I don't think. Sometimes I think it's SteamYard. Because my internet will be fine, but the internet that shows up on my SteamYard, it's like the connection or whatever. Hello, Ron. How are you doing tonight, sir? And Roger. Hello, Roger. How are you tonight? Ron and Roger came in together 2 hours. Hope you're well. And there's Mr. Ryan. We're good to see you. Greetings, fair citizens of Gemmaland. Gemmaland. So how you doing, sir? Keeping those Cheetos hidden? Yeah, I don't think it's you, Shelly. It's sometimes he's most of his stuff upstairs is on the modem. I'm the only one basically, other than a TV down here. I'm on Wi-Fi, and sometimes when he hogs all that, it just seems to kind of. But I don't think he's on right now because I know he got to go work in the morning. Howdy doing, Arizona lamb? Good to see you around, Ryan. I hope you enjoyed your break. You needed it. I know you had a lot going on. Forgive me. I'm fidgety today. Like I said, it's been go the last few days, and kind of feeling it. Weeks, I should say. But yeah, I'm gonna start some. I'm gonna actually tell a couple other people's encounters tonight that I've been told. Actually, one I'm going to tell is about a very good friend of mine. That happened with her and her husband. They got married very early. They were both married in their 20s. She was 20 and he was 21. And I went to school with her. That was weird. That one does give me the chills. Sitting there, I had to call her today and ask how she was doing because I was thinking about the story and the encounter and what had happened. Funny you mentioned Cheetos. I'm eating some Cheeto mac and cheese. Ooh, I wasn't a big fan of that. I don't know why. It was just didn't get my goat, man. I didn't. I know you did. They're good to breathe, isn't it? Once in a while, just to good take a breath and just kind of let it all go. Let's not do that myself. I'm about due again too. To be honest, I try to do that as much as possible. Yeah, I'm real fidgety, folks, so bear with me. They need to make it cheesier. I love cheese, but you had a cupcake. I'm telling you, Ryan needs his own. We got to talk at all things paranormal, weird, cryptid. Thank you, Michelle, Shelley. Well, Ryan wants to come in here by himself. I'm sure Gemma will work it out. So, or Ryan take up his own channel. He'll do it. He's got the skills. And it takes time and effort. That's why Gemma's going nuts right now. She's counting down to the third so he goes back to school and she can get back to normal again. Good and lots of sugar. That's good. Yeah, because I don't know. I was going to say. That's awesome. How's your book coming, dude? Did you get to work on your book? Or have you been working on your book? I got one of the best compliments tonight. One of my neighbors said I sound like, well, I can't complain. Too funny. I don't know. I don't, I don't watch a lot of that type. It's coming along nicely. I'm almost done with it. About 3 or 4 more chapters. I can't wait to read it, dude. I can't wait to read it. She was on a stream or in chat. Shelly's everywhere, man. She's kind of like me. She's in and out of places all the time. I am super fidgety, folks, so bear with me. Oh, he's a YouTuber. He's a YouTuber. He's been around a while. A long while, actually, I believe. Mm-hmm. The allergy medicine, it dries me out. I'm just reading chat, making sure, and I'm not much miss. Well, that's good. I'm glad everybody's doing good. Yeah, we're about ready to get into some stories here. Start with some simple ones. Like I said, I probably won't go too far past 2 o'clock tonight. It is a weeknight. And I'll go all night at Saturdays as long as I got a crowd, a decent amount of people hanging out and talking. But tonight, 2 o'clock, I got to get up and get busy again, and I pace all night. Actually, I don't know if I can write my own book, but I am anticipating Gemma to write my book. I'm gonna sit down with Gemma and let her write it. Give her the credit for it. I'm just not. I'm too antsy to sit for too long. You guys probably get me to sit the most, to be quite honest. Because right now I'd be all over this house. And you can see I'm real fidgety tonight. I mean, I'm ready to get up and run. And I haven't. I think do you go to Spaced Out Radio, Ron? Because I know she still shows up. Do you still show up there, right, Shelley? And it's coming and Stockton and all them. Do you still check all them out? Now remember, Gemma's on this Sunday night on Michigan. Well, here, I'll just do this. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, because we're here. Pixie's on tomorrow night at 8 o'clock, so Pixie will be here tomorrow night. Or tonight, I should say, since it is Thursday. Gemma and me on Friday, 7:15. Might want to show up a little early. I'm here Saturday night. If all goes well, I should be here Saturday night at midnight for Gemma's replays. Then Sunday, Gemma's doing an interview with one of her favorite folks, Wayne and Michelle. Love them dearly. They're good people. And let me do this. If I can find it. Dun, 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 dun. Where's it at? Where's it at? Where's it at? I know it. Should have done this in the first place. What a butthead. Okay, hold on. Sunday night, she'll be promoting her books, Gone 3 and Campfires 3. Right here we go. Let me get this out of the way. Make this a little bigger way. Oh, let me do this. Hold on. Do this. There we go. Go back. Go here. There we go. Stop. All right. Okie dokies. And go back here. I'm just going to put her up here. I want to promote this because Michelle and Wayne are great folks. There we go. There you go. And let me do it this way. She'll be on Sunday night at 8. Check her out. They would love to see you. Hey, Justin, Bieber fan. Resmac is talking about you on her channel. Who? Me? Who's Resmac? I don't even know who Resmac is. talking about me. I don't know who she is or he is or whatever. Talking about me or Gemma. On her channel. You sure you're talking to the right person? I ain't that big. I ain't that well known. I'm just a little stooge on a channel. I just fill in for Gemma, fill in time slots for Gemma. What's up? Who is it? Who are you talking about, dude? Justin. Welcome, by the way. I'm hoping you're having a good week. I'm just curious. I don't even know who that person is. That's what I'm doing. I'm going, I'm thinking the same thing. Yeah, Markiplier probably was around probably about a year or so after YouTube started. He's been around a while. There's probably about maybe 30 or 40 people that actually have been here from the beginning. Yeah, Phyllis and Justin, I'm sorry. You say green light, we take care of it. There you go. Yeah, I'm just curious. I'm kind of falling behind on chat here. Hold on. Okay, was on Big Robin Boo Bonds. Yeah, there you go. In Search of a Higher Graspman by Stephen Drag. Ghost Books. I'd actually title it Ghost Dragon. SLD. ZWSLD. It'd be probably more, my book will probably be more about my encounters in my life. Because when it comes to that stuff, it's been nuts. Since I was 2 years old, I've had my issues, and I knew then, and I was just 2 years old, but I have a funny feeling then I was seeing stuff. But when I was 3, 4, 5 years old, especially 4 and 5, is when I really started seeing stuff. Ghost, I'm currently reading Batman 0 Year 1 and 0 Year and Year 1. Good stuff. Oh, I read those a while ago. I got those. They're out in my boxes. Yeah, those are good books. You haven't read those? I liked Year 1. 0 Year was okay. I liked them both. I'm now going and looking for all the crossovers. I'm trying to get my Godzilla books caught back up because I had to sell a couple of those. And some other stuff some of the off-brand stuff. No Man's Land's a good book. Wait till you here. Let me see. I read Salem's Lot last night because I couldn't sleep. So I read Salem's Lot. And then I got bored and I read this. Which is really good. I got to get the other one. And I read this one. And one of my favorites I like to read over and over again. You know that down there, which is a great book. I love this. And then part of Endgame, because I'm having a hard time. I have the books, but I'm trying to find the graphic, the We called them coffee table books or fireside books. But yeah, this is a good one too. And I've been reading those. I plowed through those last night for like a couple times. Ron First comic book characters. If you haven't read Deadpool or X-Men, it wouldn't be something you'd enjoy. I'm a DC guy, so yeah. Well, Jason said somebody was talking about me and then just left. Jason, if you're still here, Justin, I'm sorry. I know a Jason, that's why I keep saying it. Justin, if you're still here, I want to know, is it talking about me or Gemma? This pretty lady right there. Interesting. I'll have to make sure I write that down. And the night. So they're talking right now about us or her. That's interesting. Now my curiosity has been piqued. I was getting ready to tell stories. Now my curiosity is all piqued. Yeah, it looks interesting, Ghost, that channel. What channel? Yeah, Nightfall is a great story. Actually, one of my favorite is Long Halloween and Venom from Dark Knight series. That Venom series is really good too. On my read list now. Yeah, they're great books. I've been checking out comic books now, and I'm just so disappointed. I mean, there's still some good storylines out there, but I'm just kind of what that they do to themselves. And some places are trying to start over again, and so we'll see. And I've gotten deep into anime too. So, and I've always liked anime, so I've always flip flop back between the two. And my son's working on his books now, on his anime books now. I just been going back and trying to replace issues when I can. I sold a lot during chemo. I mean, I sold a lot of stuff that I probably should have never sold, but they paid for it. So, Nemesis and Nemesis Reloaded from Image Comics. Interesting. He's basically Batman and Superman. Oh yeah, I've seen books. I haven't really sat down. This Resmax, not sure what's that about. No, I'm not sure. He made a comment talking about you and then booked. Maybe he thought Gemma was going to be here and he was trying to tell Gemma. I don't know. But I have everything marked down. I'll go check it out. Shouldn't be hard to find the channel. Find out who's who. Or he could have had the wrong. I don't know. It's interesting to come in and make a comment like that and then just not say anything else. So my guess is he thought Gemma was here. I'm seeing a lot more channels popping up like Gemma's Oracle reading. Might have to change the time or day for Gemma's show. A lot of people are copying her. I know. I'm trying to figure out what the Resmac channel is about. It doesn't seem like sort of a place that you nor Gemma would frequent, Ghost. I don't know. I haven't even had a chance to go check out the channels because I'm right here. Did you go look? No, I don't know why they'd be talking about us unless the kid had the wrong channel. I don't know. I'm lost. But you never know. Some of these people talk about crazy stuff just like we do. So who knows? And why? But if they'd be talking about anybody, it'd be Gemma. I did see it. I did. Seems like maybe someone came in just to get attention for the stream. That which is possible, which is highly possible. They do that. I've noticed a lot of porn crap popping up into every space bunch crap going on. Not on, I know YouTube gets a little weird sometimes. Facebook, it's funny how they crack and complain about stuff, and the stuff that I get just in commercials, just in advertisement, it's like, holy crap. You had to report YouTube channel? I had to report a YouTube channel? Hey, if you have to, you have to. I mean, hey, Latro, what's up? Been busy YouTube and buying silver. There you go. The account was made April this year. Justin or Red's Mac? Latro, welcome. I hope you're having a good weekend there, bud. Week so far. Hey. Hey. I haven't even started telling stories yet. But yes, remember, folks, she's on Sunday night. Check her out. Wayne, Michelle would love to have you. Justin, yeah, that's probably what they're doing. Who knows? I have to go check out Resmac and fixing a war against werewolves. Fixing a war. There you go, werewolf. Hey, don't be messing with my kind. I don't go messing with your Wendigos and your skinwalkers and your pale crawlers. Don't be messing with my werewolves. Are they connected? Hey, that's a good question. But nah, I wouldn't think so. If they're in stream, they wouldn't be going from other streams to them, saying stuff like that. Anybody go over and check it out and see how many people they had in the stream? I'm just curious. Now my curiosity speak. I haven't even told any stories yet. My curiosity has just been piqued. Get stirred up trouble. You don't mess with us because all my creatures are equal. I don't know. I'll get my little Spidey buddies out that I see everywhere and make them come for you. And they'll make sure they clean your house of any cheetahs or anything. Which stream? Oh, I was talking about Resmac stream. But supposedly they're the ones that was talking about either her or me. I'm sure they were talking about her, not me. 94 watching that Resmac. What's he talking about? Maybe I should go check it out. Hold on. Now my curiosity is big. Let me stop sharing this. There it is. Stop. No, I don't want that. Quit. Now my curiosity's killing me. What are they talking about? Let's see. Oh, just a bunch of people having fun, talking. Yeah. So how you doing, Latra? That was interesting. It's just a bunch of people hanging out. I'll go check out the replay and see what it's about. It looks like just a bunch of people arguing. Yeah. Well, because no, I was just checking it out. I just wanted to see who it was. Sometimes it's good. I mean, I guess that's an interesting way to get people to go check out the channel. Hey, he's doing better than me, so he's been around a while. I didn't see anything on how many subs he's got and stuff, so it's all good. It's all good. Everybody's doing their thing. That's all that matters. Did you see the water spout that sank some NWO guy's yacht? Probably no, I didn't, but I've heard about it. I haven't seen the video yet. They are cursing with each. Oh yeah, they were doing that when I popped in, giving each other crap. So they must all know each other. So yeah, there's those type of channels that usually just hang out. But like I said, I'll go back and after stream or tomorrow when I got a break and kind of scan it. Hey man, everybody's got their little tribe. I just don't see those people talking about either me or Gemma unless one of them comes into her oracles or has come into one of her streams or seen one of her videos. That'd be the only person I would assume they would be talking about. I didn't recognize anybody from many other channels that I knew. So right off rip, but I didn't stay very long. Who knows? But how's everybody doing? We got 10 people in here. If you guys are ready, unless you guys just like chatting, that's fine too. So yeah, I'm good either way. It's supposed to be spooky time. We're talking about spooky and scary things. I guess looking at other channels can be scary. I am fidgety as crap tonight, folks. So just like I said, I'm going to say a lot. Bear with me. It's possible. They, who knows? I didn't see that Justin in there, so like I said, I don't know what happened. You guys, all of you guys, I know what it looks like. I know, and I mean, unless you guys got pictures on your thing. My internet's flickering again. You guys okay? I don't know what's the deal with my Wi-Fi. Weird. We love you guys. You're doing. I know I'm okay. I don't know why. Am I freezing? Did I freeze? Am I freezing on you guys? Oh, crap. Let me see something here. That got me up. What? At least put it there. That's just as bad. Man, I am getting, you guys are getting a really crappy. See, but it's not clearing up or nothing. You froze, but you can't, but it can hear. Okay. Yeah, I can see it. My screen's all blurry. I'm jerky on my end. That's wild. And the thing is, my Wi-Fi is good, so it's got to be StreamYard. I don't think StreamYard can handle all the streams sometimes. If there's a lot of people streaming right now, I've noticed this happens. A lot of people use StreamYard. So, well, let me know if it happens again. It looks like it's trying to clear up. Yeah, I noticed. I've been checking. Yeah, that's what I thought. And I checked all the settings and I'm about as good. I'm pretty sure it's probably StreamYard. Sometimes when Gemma has problems, sometimes it is her internet because her internet's not the greatest. But sometimes it is StreamYard too. Like Google Meet. What's this Steam? StreamYard is what you use to stream. It's kind of like your platform you use. You're on YouTube. YouTube doesn't offer. You just don't click YouTube and you're streaming. It's not that simple. You use there's a couple different ones. StreamYard's the one I know best. And you use that. You stream through that onto YouTube or Rumble or Odyssey or BitChute. It's just like go between. You know what I'm saying? You okay? You got it. Cool. Yeah. And it's cheaper than a lot of the other ones, unless you go up to like a premium, which I think I may have her do. I may help her do, because I think she'll get a lot better. I noticed, like, there was one night last week, it was last Wednesday. This is not like this. I was checking before I came on. Sometimes that's what I'm doing. And there was a lot of people streaming. So I noticed that's when I seem to have glitches. So it's like either StreamYard's having a hard time, because like it's like podcasts now. Everybody streams now. I commented on Gemma's YouTube shorts. Usually says, "Hey, shocker." Yeah, she sees you. Yeah, it's good, but I think sometimes they're still working out because, like I said, everybody streams now. I mean, basically Rumble has become a streaming platform. I mean, you can put videos and go watch videos, but a majority of the people now go to Rumble to stream because you get to keep most of your tips. They only take like 10% of your tips. Same thing with the other ones. Some of them don't even offer that tips. It's really easy to get monetized. They don't censor as much. I mean, you still have rules, but everyone's having an issues here and there. Yeah, and it doesn't help. There's a lot going on. So I kind of get concerned about all this internet. Internet's crappy up here. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, it probably is. Now, do you have Wi-Fi or do you have a modem, Ron, or are you like running off of Elon stuff? The link. Patreon is doing a dropping thing now. Oh, really? Patreon, I was never a big fan of it because they can come in and have a say. They're like YouTube. If you're bringing in a lot of money, they don't say much, but if they don't like it, they're going to give you a hard time or like what you're doing. But it's nice to have because you can go over there and post internet stuff. Yeah, Starlink is crappy. That's what I've heard. I don't know if you know who Quartering is, Jeremy. That's what he uses, and he actually says he has a pretty good time with it. But I don't know. Most people I've talked to said it's real rough, and it can be kind of touch and go. Yeah, I figured if you have Starlink, you have Wi-Fi. But yeah, we'll see. Once it gets more up there and covers our skies in little dots. It's not actually free. Oh, I know it's not free. And you have to bring a lot of new stuff. Yeah, I know it's not free. Yeah, because I know he pays for his. Or does they have it like you can buy grade A or grade B? But I can imagine. That's like in the day when you had satellite Wi-Fi. Actually your internet, people think that satellite internet is the thing. All you're doing with the satellite is picking up Wi-Fi in the day. Because actually internet is not in the sky. It's ran with cables. Your internet is actually being run with cable, then the signal is broadcasted out. Like your mobile and Verizon internet and stuff like that. If I'm correct. But I do know that the internet you get hooked from a cable station, and most internet sources are ran from cable. Its setup system costs more than regular internet. Wow. I probably believe that. I probably would believe that. Lou. Oh, his book's about out. Okay. Hey, Rainwater, thank you for coming in. You come in and say hi, and I appreciate that. Yeah, I hope you're having a good week. Have a wonderful rest of the week. And if you're listening, enjoy, relax. Like I said, I'm going to start telling stories here sooner or later. We're all having fun just talking. If your cell phone pick up on the a car, cell phone, booster help out. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get me a booster. He just runs too much up there. Plus, sometimes for some reason, I am literally right underneath the box too, and sometimes I have problems. But I'm beginning to realize the majority of the problems I personally have when I'm streaming, and especially when I'm running YouTube, is StreamYard. I don't think it's my internet. Now, there's been times when my internet's gone out because of storms or somebody hit a phone booth pole up the top street. I've heard that this Lorenzo guy, something about UFO, and stuff. Yeah, he's a UFO guy. Government stuff, all that good stuff. If you consider it good stuff. If you're into that stuff. Yeah. Where did Ryan go to eat? Go get his coffee and his cake. He always seems to have coffee and cake laying around. Are you listening, Ryan? I'm saying bad things about you. Lou was the head of investigation for a unit for a while. Yeah, he's all over television. A lot of them are. And Gemma's hoping to go to Para Unity this year. So if your folks are in Jersey, show up for Para Unity. She might even have a table there. I'm hoping. We're trying to work it out. They're a home setup, but in case of an emergency, I bought a car one instead. Actually, that's not a bad idea. Maybe I should do the same. I've already got bug out stuff planned, set up. Well, and just in case something happens, it's always good to have stuff packed away. So I've already started stuff. I'm like a quarter of hours ghost. I'm always listening. Yeah, I know you. I know you're in the background. That's why I said something. I'd like the quarter owls. I'm so glad they brought those in. I was watching Teen Titans when it was coming on HBO. I actually liked it up until about midway. And why do they screw this stuff up? They had such a good thing going. I like the Talon, the Hitman that the court used. Yes, those are good books too. And sad. I like Damien more than I like Dick. I never liked Jason. I was one of the people that voted for him to go down. I did. I called right away as soon as I got the book. That shouldn't say it that way. Off that dude. I don't like him. Get rid of him. Oh, Court Owls is shit. Oh, yeah, they are. Oh, they're into it. It's kind of like the Illuminati. And those books are weird books. Have you ever seen the Illuminati books? Those are some weird books. But he's a weird dude anyways. Oh, did you? All right. Good man. There's not too many people that I know that said they actually called and voted. I know one guy, I think he tried to call like 3 times, and they actually knew not to count the other votes, which was weird. Because that was pretty early in the day. But yeah, I voted him down. I can't say I've seen the Illuminati books. Look them up, dude. The comic books. Look them up. It's a group of heroes. No, I can't think of his name. It's not Frank, but did the books. I think he did Sandman for a while. I'm trying to think of his name. But he's a really weird dude anyways. Kind of a hippie kind of dude, but he's weird anyways. But they're weird books. They're like Doctor Strange was and the Sandman was in their day. Kind of off and we're kind of weird off in their own little. I miss I miss old school comics now. The smell. And it's funny because for every comic book store we lose, we get another one. But the problem is now comic book stores are not comic book stores. They're also Magic of the Gathering places. So you go in to buy comic books and you have to put up with, well, I should say put up, because most of them are pretty nice people, but you have to deal with them running around too. Who's seen X-Men 97? I actually didn't mind it. I was actually surprised considering all the crap people were giving it. I didn't mind it. They didn't do too bad of a job. I wasn't like disappointed. I was kind of impressed. They tried. They changed a few things. So they took away Rogue's butt. It's a cartoon. Name's Gambit. Remember that. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what Disney does now since everything is going to crap. This Doom movie better be good. They need a winner because right now the only thing that's saving them is Deadpool and Wolverine. And it's still breaking records. We'll see how it does. But it's not really hard right now to break a record after the coup. Coup destroyed a lot of movie theaters. You wouldn't be the first one, Shelley. I know a lot of people. I have friends that have never read a comic book. So it's not that big a deal. That's on you, not on me. No, just kidding. No, actually, my dad was a comic book kid. So I had a lot of his stuff. And my brothers, I have 4 brothers. They were into them, but not like I was. I was the one that really kind of dug into the science fiction. And Mom and Dad are both movie buffs. Dad's Western and drama and detective. And Mom was into everything. So I've seen my share of black and whites and musicals. And I do have the DC movie, the original one with the, or do you? Those are good ones, though. Hey, Sassy Sniper. Hello, how are you? I hope you're having a good night. And welcome. Godzilla. Yeah, I'm a big Godzilla fan, too. Oh, yeah, big time. Yeah. Yeah, Joker was in that bag. Yeah, he was. But he's nice. It always cracked me up, but now they're saying there's 3 Jokers, which kind of bummed me out, but kind of makes sense. But they got to twist and turn things around. Now he's got a daughter. Well, one of them has a daughter. I pretty much stopped reading after that. Sorry about that. We're doing pretty good, Sassy. And I hope, like I said, I hope you're having a good week so far. Yeah, I was going to tell encounters for friends and stuff, but everybody got to talking about comic books. So I just go with the flow here. I just let pretty much chat take the lead, and I just run along with them. And usually this is how it was originally until I decided to start. Everybody started asking me to tell my encounters. People I know who have told me encounters over the years. And sometimes we just get to chat. This is pretty much spooky time is pretty much a new format, which is just still pretty much chill and chat. If you haven't been in here before. And probably do a lowdown here pretty soon too. Goth has a soothing voice. If you can understand me half the time. The Tourette's kind of screws with that. Yeah, I'm getting ready to. I think it's a good time to get into it. See if I can scare Ryan. Probably not. I probably won't scare half of you, but let's start. I'm going to start with one of the ones that one of the truck drivers told me from Dad's work. He was bringing bread and hostess stuff back. He's coming up from the south and stopped at a rest stop. Now he said the highway 71 was pretty quiet that night. He said middle week, not a whole lot of traffic, mid fall. So I'm taking maybe September, October. You really don't. It doesn't really say. It just says mid fall. I have to look at my own pre-coffee reflection because not much can. Yeah, I know that story. Anyways, he stops at this restaurant. The gas station restaurant deals, but I guess there was a Ma and Paul restaurant there off the highway. So he did the weigh in, and he said it was like him and like 3 other semis. He said it was really weird. He said the night was just super quiet, and he gets up to the exit. I believe it would be. I can't remember what the exit was. It was not much after the way stations. I don't remember this exit. But anyways, he gets up to the exit and gets off. There's a diner there, a little ways back. That's a 24-hour diner. He goes in to eat and kind of take a chill off because I know the guy drives. He likes to drive at night. He's a night driver, kind of like a night flyer. He likes to drive at night. He says it's just more easy for him. He goes in, grabs a bite to eat, and he's sitting there, and it's like him. He said it was him, the waitress, which was probably. He said she was probably one of the owners. He never says her name. All he says is she's probably in her mid-50s. Looked like her husband was cooking because the way they were talking to him, but he was more paying attention to a couple. He said there was a young couple. So they looked like they were in their mid-20s, and they were sitting a few booths down. It's not a big place. And you can hear them talking. They were just talking. And he was watching them because, they looked like a young couple in love. And he said he was kind of bored. And he said he went and got a paper out of the machine, sat down and started reading the paper. He says he takes about an hour and a half just to sit and kind of chill before he goes for the long haul. And he's sitting there reading his paper, and he gets up and he watches the lady get up out of the booth and go to the bathroom. And he didn't think nothing of it. And he noticed the guy gets up and starts pacing. And something clicks in his head and goes, are they going to rob this place? Because it was really weird. He was pacing like he was nervous, like he was ready to do something. Well, she never comes out of the bathroom. She never comes out of the bathroom. And he starts pacing even more. So he asks the lady, the waitress, to go look to see if she's okay. And she comes out and she goes, she's not in the bathroom. And he's like, what? She's not in the bathroom. And there's no way to get out. So where'd she go? Because there's no window, nothing. So they're freaking out because nobody saw her leave. And this guy starts freaking out. I mean, really, really freaking out. So he goes out the door. He's sitting, watching, holding the paper, watching them and watching the music, going, what the hell's going on? And the guy goes out and he runs to her car and starts opening doors, and she's not in the car. So he comes back and goes, she's in the bathroom. I go, yeah, the guy goes, yeah, she went in the bathroom. I watched her go in the bathroom too. I didn't see her come out, but see, his back was facing the door. So he really couldn't say. He said he really couldn't say, but he just said, I would have seen her come out because I'm looking out the window. There's only 3 cars in the parking lot. And they go back in and looking around. Can't find her. So this guy freaks out. He says he leaves And 15 minutes after he leaves, she comes out of the bathroom, all freaked out. And she goes, "Where's my husband? He left. He thought you left him." And she goes, "No, I went in the bathroom. And the next thing I know, I was in a whole different room." She was freaking out. And she was in tears. She was crying. And this trucker's looking at her like, these guys are on something. So while she's talking to the waitress, telling her all this freaky stuff about how she walks into a bathroom, it was like not even a bathroom. She said it wasn't even a bathroom. She said it was just a square brick room with nothing in it, and she couldn't get the door to open back up. And she was freaking out. And so he gets up, the trucker gets up, and goes and looks in the bathroom, starts looking at the ceiling tiles and everything. He's like, so he comes out. Well, finally, it's weird because her husband comes back with the cops. They come in, and she's standing there freaking out. They're trying to explain everything to the cops. And the truck driver's sitting there listening to this stuff because he's watching his life because he knows he has to get back on the road. But he's like, this is weird. He's telling me, dude, she looked white as a ghost. He said she looked like she had been through heck and high water. He said she was sweating, pale. You could tell she was flustered, scared. She didn't know what was going on. And she said it was weird because all of a sudden the door unlocked. And I looked at the guy and I go, well, what did they say? And they were like, well, it was weird because the trucker goes, she come out. When she said the door unlocked and she came out, she could see her husband driving away. But she didn't think it was her husband because she wasn't sure exactly where she was back at. But the husband comes in, and he's telling the husband's freaking out. And he was really nervous in the first place. It turned out, now what happened to her was real, but they had robbed an old lady not but hours before. And when he went to the cops and complained about his wife disappeared in the bathroom, they already had everything, but they just kind of played along with him because they had to have both of them. But the cops were even freaking out. The guy said it was hilarious. They're getting arrested. She's freaking out because she went somewhere in a whole different galaxy. But it was obviously very obvious to him, he said, that she did not, when she walked in that bathroom, she wasn't in the bathroom. He said when he looked in the bathroom, it didn't look like anybody even been there because he said there was still these are one of these old couple that still puts like the thing over the toilet so you know it's clean and stuff, like you would see in a hotel. He said he's eaten at the diner before and they're real clean. And I don't know, but he said it really freaked him out. He won't even eat there anymore because he's afraid he's going to go in the bathroom and end up somewhere else. I don't know if it's spooky, but it was one of those stories you kind of listen to. And he's worse than he's a worse storyteller than I am. He's a nice guy. Because he's told me a couple times that going through Pennsylvania on the turnpike and stuff, and at some of the truck stops, sometimes they'll go the back way. That he says he's seen Bigfoot run across the road. He's pretty sure he has seen a dog man standing in the middle of a road. He says, I've seen some stuff. But he goes, but that was the weirdest of somebody not only getting arrested for robbing somebody, but poor woman walking in the bathroom and being in a whole different room. He said she was so freaked out that she had literally started getting hysterical when they took him away because she still didn't understand what had happened to her. Maybe she walked into a glitch in the Matrix. Nobody knows. I've heard stories like this before. I have a friend whose mother has told stories when she was a little girl that they went to her grandmother's. Excuse me. And one second. They went to her grandmother's that lived out on the farm, and she was out playing in the barn with the kittens because most farms have cats. She was about 12 years old. And when she said she came out of the barn, she didn't know where she at. Everything was different. And it scared her so bad that she ran in the barn and curled up and was holding a bunch of the kittens, freaking out, crying. And she said she was there like an hour. She was afraid to go back out because when she walked out, nothing was the same. Next thing you know, her grandfather come in, asked if she was okay, and she told him what happened, and he just kind of gave her a funny look, all children in imagination. But she swears it happens. She said it looked like she was in a whole different country. Everything was just totally different. She said it was like almost like dusk, and it was in the middle of the afternoon when she was in the barn. Oh, she tells that story, and I guess he still kind of freaks out. But yeah, you get all kinds of those kind of stories where people do that. I've heard a couple of them. There's a friend of mine. Let me tell this story because I got to get into the details. I have a friend, a girl who's a friend in high school. After we graduated, she had been dating this guy outside. I also knew her from work, and because she also worked at Bonanza with me, and she had met a guy there. But he had quit. He didn't stay very long. He moved on to a different place, and but they dated and got married within a couple years. So I think she was 20 and he was 21, and they were married, and things seemed to be good. But he ended up having a heart attack at a very young age and passed, and it played hard on her. But he was, I met him and talked to him, and I worked with him a little bit. He's good. He was a good general guy. You wouldn't expect any anger from this guy. He's one of those guys, pretty calm, cool, and collected. Anyways, she said about a year after he had passed, she started noticing things in the house. Just like everybody, things were missing. She would hear a voice or something call her name every so often, and she just assumed it was him. This is why I tell people you can't assume that everything you see that calls your name or comes off as a relative or a past loved one is always them. Well, anyways, she started hearing the names, her name being called. Then she started noticing they had a notepad that was on the refrigerator, one of those magnet notepads you write groceries on and stuff. And she said one morning she got up and there was a "Hello, darling." And she said she freaked out because it was in his handwriting and it wasn't there the day more. And she freaked out. Now she said he called her darling every so often and stuff like that. But anyways, she tore the paper off and kept it and folded up and put it in her pocket and kind of held on to it like, oh, he loves me, he misses me, I miss him too. And nothing much after that. She said it went like 2 or 3 months. Things were quiet. Nothing got moved. She said then stuff of his that she hadn't put away yet would be moved. And then there was stuff that she put away in a box, like his wallet and his tie clips and stuff like that. She would find them out on the table, laid out on the table, the kitchen table, like he was getting ready for work. And that started to freak her out. So she called my friend, Patricia. And Patricia went over and kind of checked things out. Said, she's a lot like Gemma. In fact, Gemma's actually Patricia older than Gemma, so Gemma's more like her in that way. Anyways, she went over and said she really couldn't feel anything. And she said it felt kind of barren in the house. It was kind of an empty feeling, but she couldn't feel anything. She couldn't tell if something was there. So a couple weeks went by. Lady said nothing. I'm not going to give her name. Then she calls Patricia and tells Patricia to bring me and her over there. So I go with Patricia over there. What had happened was she found his car keys in the ignition of his car, and it was running. Nobody in the house. So we asked her, "Are you sleepwalking?" You know, all this stuff. She goes, "I'm not. But no, this is how I found it when I came in the door." She hadn't sold his car yet. We figured she'd sold his car a while ago, but no, it was still sitting in the garage. But it was in the garage running. So we go in there and turn it off. And Patricia goes, "Something's not right." And I go, "Yeah, there is something here. I don't know what it is, but it's not him." So we kind of warn her, "Hey, just keep your eyes peeled. And have a good one, bud. You take care. I'll see you soon, I hope. And give me a yell. If I don't hear from you in the next couple of days, I'll yell for you. If I don't see you within the next couple of days or talk to you, hopefully I'll see you Friday night. But have a good one, Ryan. Have a blessed one, dude." Anyways, now I gotta pay you. So we're hanging around, just waiting. Nothing happens. And I broke my train of thought. Well, Patricia had to leave, so I hung out with her for a while. She was scared. She even started saying something didn't feel right, something was off. I hung around for like an hour or two, and I finally left like at 9 o'clock. I get home. No sooner than I walk in the door, my phone rings here at the house because we didn't have cell phones. So I answer the phone, and I head back over. I get over there, and there is literally 2 handprints, but the only things were the handprints were on his windshield on the inside, like he had pushed his hands up on the inside of the window. But the problem was the fingers were like this long, so it wasn't a human handprint. And she kept saying it was him. And I said, well, unless he changed into something bad after he passed, that's not him. And that's scary and freaky. So I had Thomas come over and bless the house. And Thomas told her, whatever it is may be feeding off, you're still missing him so much that it's feeding off that. So stop it. Let him move on. You need to make peace with it. So she spent some time with Thomas and they talked. Everything seemed good for about almost a month. This time I get the phone call again. I go over and there is a face print on her door. And this face print was probably the creepiest thing I ever seen. It was like he had smashed, you know how you smash your face up against the window and it's all distorted? Problem was, it looked like it either had a horn or something, because there was a big scratch mark above its head and the eyes were huge. You could see where, and it had a big jawline, and it was just the way it was smushed up. Definitely did not look human. She's standing on the shore, look, and I'm like, oh God, So I called Thomas back over again. He goes through, blesses the house, he blesses outside. I go home, I go get sea salt, and I do around her whole house. We think it's good. A couple of days later, Thomas says he calls and checks on her. She seems fine. Everything seems quiet. Another month goes by. Everything seems good. I'm going, okay. I call and check on her. She sounds all right. She sounds fine. Thomas gets the phone call. Calls me and goes, you got to come with me. She's freaking out again. She won't tell me over the phone. We get there, and she's got the 3 long claw marks down the back of her, on her back, just straight down the back. Thomas looks at her and goes, I think it's time for you to move. And then you need to make peace with your husband's passing. And they talked, and I kind of stood around and looked around the house, made sure that, everything was cool. So we leave. Thomas invites her to come stay with him and his wife. But she won't. She doesn't want to leave the house. I told Thomas she really needs to get out of this house. So it's not good. And I get this feeling it's bound to the house because whatever we do, it won't go away. Thomas goes, I agree. So we go back over the next day and try to get her to, sell the house and get out of there and move on. She gets up a little fight, but finally we get her to at least think about it. Well, finally Patricia gets back involved. She had to take care of some other stuff. And she calls one of her sisters, not Patricia's sister, but the lady's sisters. She had a sister, and tells her what's going on and asks if she had even said anything to her about it. Sister says no. So sister goes over and stays with the lady. Just shows up unexpectedly. We didn't want her to know that we had called her or Patricia had called her. So she shows up. We get a phone call. Lady goes, hey, my sister's here. So she's going to hang out with me for a while. Okay, cool. It wasn't 2 nights later. Her sister calls me because she couldn't get a hold of Patricia or Thomas. And I go over. And both of them have these long scratch marks down their backs. He said, lady, it's time to get out of here. I don't know what to do, and I can't get a hold of the guys. Thomas was actually with one of his parishioners in the hospital. And Patricia does a lot of traveling. She had left out of town again. So I convinced them to go get a hotel. They go to the hotel room. She gives me a key. I lock up for her. I do a walk in the house just out of curiosity. Because it was just the house felt weird. I didn't hear nothing. I didn't see nothing. I didn't feel nothing. It knew I was there, and it didn't want nothing to do with me or whatever. Kind of hid away because I knew that's what it was doing. So I leave. We get a call, all 3 of us, me, Thomas, and Patricia. Patricia calls me long distance. Like, you wouldn't believe the phone call I just got. And I go, what? And then my phone. We had call waiting. So my phone goes off. Yeah. It burned her house down. They don't know how her gas stove got turned on, but the gas stove caught on fire. It looked like from what the fire department said, it looked like the pilot light to her furnace was leaking, and the whole house went up in flames. She lost everything. Everything. Bless her heart. Thank God she had great family and everything. But they still, to this day, don't know what caused the fire. We all do. We know, and you can't say it. But we honestly feel, and I still to this day, she's still what's messed up is last time I saw her, she still has scars from the second scratches down her back. The second set, she actually has scars from those. She finally realized that that's probably what happened. We thought she was doing okay after he passed. But, some people don't let go, and we get it, and everybody grieves differently. But when these things come knocking at your door, pretending to be a past loved one, you need to question it. And you actually shouldn't talk to it because 2 to 1, it's not who they say are. I'm not saying it doesn't happen that loved ones don't come back and visit you and give you loves and hugs and let you know they're okay or making sure you're okay or watching over you. That does happen. But the majority of the time, these things come to feed off your grief. And if you're grieving really hard and quietly by yourself and you're hiding it and you're suffering inside, that's when they love you the most to feed off of. So, yeah. But she hasn't had a problem since, from what we understand. In fact, I said, I talked to everybody the other day and today, and Patricia, and, she seems to be good. She seems to be doing good. But she'll never forget it. But, The fire department never figured out how the stove caught on fire. They don't know how any of this happened. When I left, everything was shut off. Everything was locked up. Everything was nice because I was the last one to leave the house. I actually thought maybe I bumped into something, but I know I didn't. But it was weird because I remember the fire department guy when I was there when they were talking to the inspector, and he said, "We can't figure out how the stove ignited. We just can't figure it out. Nothing was left on. Like I said, I was left. I told him I was the last one to leave. I wish I had cameras back then. I said, I swear I didn't touch anything." And he goes, "Well, what's the screwed up part is," he says, "it literally looked like the pilot light to the furnace had been snapped off. Like somebody went up and bent it until it just all over. And that the house literally, whatever happened with the stoves, when they finally hit that gas from the furnace, it didn't explode. People said it didn't explode. It just, they heard a pop, and the next thing you know, the whole house was engulfed in flames." And one lady said, and I only heard this because she was talking to Patricia, and it was her neighbor, the lady's neighbor. And she said she swears she heard screams, and she thought she was in the house. And that's what freaked her out, was because I guess when the fire department, she says, "I think she's still in the house." And they couldn't go in the house because the house was literally engulfed. So just a little extra touch there. The property was sold but never developed. They demolished the house. I have been by there since a while back. Nobody's ever built on it. It's just an empty lot now. And they won't. They tried to sell it. She tried to sell it by herself. They got a realty company. She took I think it was HR Realty, and they tried for like a year to sell the property. It wouldn't sell. Nobody would buy it. So it's, as far as I know, there is like 2 nice homes. Her house was a nice home, and just an empty lot now. In fact, some of the people say, if you go, I never got out of the car after they cleared it all away, but they say on some of the fence and on some of the trees, you can see burn marks still to this day. But yeah, just be careful what you trust in your house. She said at first, before she even said anything to us about what was going on, she honestly thought it was him. Just because of the note and things that were happening and how his stuff was being moved around, she literally thought he was there with her. Man, no, something a lot worse. So be careful, folks. And another thing, just because something's knocking at your door doesn't mean to open it up when you don't see nobody standing there. Don't open the door. Because when you open the door, you invite them in. Even after you shut that door and it's still outside knocking, it's already been invited to the house once you open that door. Now it's just messing with you. She did not. She didn't believe in that stuff. She didn't believe in any of that stuff. She was they both were pretty grounded people. Good Christian folk. I mean, just your everyday young people. And she swears, the one thing she did say was she was so glad she didn't have kids, because if they'd been there, if all this was going on when she had kids, if she had the kids, she would have been afraid. They did freaked out, because she said there were days that she was, before she told us what was going on, that she thought she was losing it because of what was going on. But yeah, but at the same time, she was like, it's got to be him. He's got to be here with me, protect me. But yeah, so be careful what you ask for and what you let in, what you might think you're talking to, because it's not always what you think. Not always. But yeah, she still to this day, she won't even go back to the property at all. But she blames herself because I think she now realized it was her, you know, her remorse and her sadness that allowed it to come in. I was thinking how she's invited the negative. It it wasn't that she invited it in. It was because she was so quietly suffering inside, missing her husband. And she wasn't calling him out. She didn't go use a Ouija board. She just missed him so much. And she kept it personally inside. And when she was by herself, and that's when they come. That's when they come and feed. Um, Not all the time, but there are times when you're in that. She was kind of in despair of missing her husband, even though she was going to work every day and just going about her day. But as soon as she walked in that door, she would miss her husband. Then all this stuff started happening and led her to believe that he was there with her. That's how these things work. I mean, she wasn't calling him out. She wasn't. In fact, she said the whole time all this stuff was happening, she wasn't talking to him, which is kind of shocking to me. But she swears that she didn't say, "Is this you, honey? Are you here with me?" She said she never said that. She just assumed it was him and just let the things happen. But when the things started happening and it got freakier and freakier, that's when she called us. And we're not like a paranormal. We're just three friends that she knew to happen and to be into this stuff. And everybody known about Patricia since high school. Like Edna says, they used to call her a witch. Like with Edna, they used to call her a witch, and all kinds of things. I watched Thomas beat up some guy for picking on her. It was funny. And Thomas even asked if I went in on it. And I was like, no, you have it. You enjoy it. He goes, yeah, because I want to be a preacher. This might be the only time I get a whooping in. And that's what he would say. But yeah, he kicked his butt. But yeah. The whole situation was weird. It was kind of like the same situation I dealt with the demon. She said she'd see shadows and stuff. She said, but the biggest thing was finding his stuff on the table, because that's what he used to do when he leave for work, and when he come home from work, he would just set everything on the kitchen table: his wallet, his keys. He'd take his tie clip off and his watch off, and she was finding this stuff on the table out of the boxes. She would go back to the box, and the box would still be all folded up, but this stuff was on the table. And she'd go back and open the box, and it wouldn't be in there. So she'd put it back in there, and then it'd show back up on the table again. But I guess the biggest freak out was when she came home, found his keys in the ignition of the car, and the car running, but the house was all locked up. She said she opened that garage door, and it was nothing but exhaust. She had to open the garage door to air it out. She don't even know how long the car was running. So just imagine if she'd have been home and all that started seeping into her house and she was crashed on the couch, it could probably done her in. So she got lucky. She said she smelled it as soon as she come in the house. She goes, it smells like exhaust. And then she could hear the car. She didn't hear it when she pulled up the driveway because they have a pretty big garage and it's pretty long. And she said she didn't think about hearing the car. She didn't even on it because her neighbor always was working on cars. She probably didn't think nothing about the car running until she got in the house and smelled the exhaust and heard it run. And then she ran to the garage, opened the door, and all this exhaust came out. She started opening everything up. She didn't even bother to call the police. She just called us. I go, you sure somebody wasn't trying to steal the car and freaked out or something? She goes, no. The house was locked up. The garage was locked. I had to flip the switch and go over and unlock the door with my mouth covered so I can open the garage door. Yeah, so the emergency was already inside. Yeah. Yeah. Had a family friend of ours, that one of their kids that kind of knew off and on. We'd go over and hang out with her. Mom and dad were friends with his parents from church. Pretty quiet kid, kind of like me. Super smart. Don't know where he's at now, but he would tell me that there was always this man in his room. And this is when I was probably about 10, 11, 12 years old. We'd go over. And he would always tell me these stories about how this guy would stand in the corner of his room and watch him sleep. I go, did you tell anybody? Did you know? I told him, I go, I see this stuff. I just don't talk about it because it's not. He just stands there and watches me sleep. He thinks I'm sleeping, but I'm watching him too. He goes, does he say anything to you? He goes, no. What's he do? Just stand there. I go, he hasn't approached the bed and these two little kids talking to each other. So it tells you little kids are smarter than you think. But anyways, I'm asking you these questions. Like, no, he stands in my room and watches me. Sometimes he watches me play. Like, are you serious? I don't know what happened to him. I mean, when you're that age, what do you tell you? Yeah, hey, your son's seeing a guy stand in his room at night? I don't even know if they knew or not. And I don't, like I said, once I stopped going to that particular church, I lost a lot of contact with those kids, those little kids, other than Thomas and them. And I always wondered whatever happened to it. Did it go away when they moved? Because they didn't. I do know they moved. And I'd love to ask him now if I ever saw him. Is that guy still standing in the room watching you? I wonder if he'd even remember. My oldest granddaughter, Rebecca, Ashley's daughter, when she was little, she would hold conversation. First, you think it's a kid, but when the conversations become more intellectual at a young adult, she's like 3, 4 years old, and she's in there having a conversation with nobody in the room. And it's obvious. Well, I should say, when you hear a child talking, and it's not like play talking, you can tell when a child is using their imagination. She was answering questions. She was asking questions, and it seemed that she was getting answers back. But I sat one day, and I listened to that girl in her room, sitting on the floor. I think she was 4 years old, just having a conversation with something. But I wasn't worried because I didn't have a backfield. Even, I didn't feel like, okay, I need to go in there. And Ashley still says it was her dad, Rebecca's father's father talking to her, I guess. I couldn't tell who it was, but I didn't feel threatened. I didn't feel like she was being threatened. I would ask Rebecca, who you talking to? And she just kind of smiled. Nobody, just like a kid. But it was good to see them. She would say that. Nobody, but it was good to see them is what she would say. And it was like, okay. So I'm pretty sure she's probably gifted too. I know Ashley is. I think Sammy is too. Giles, he's kind of like her mom. And don't fall for that stuff. I wonder if she's no Rebecca, no, my daughter or the lady. Now Rebecca has grown up. She doesn't talk about it. Ashley says she still talks. So she seems to still talk to things in her room. So it's possible. Ashley tries to keep an eye on her and keeps me filled in. She can, I guess. She will tell me every so often. But I'm sure if things got bad, Ashley would know who to call. Yeah, my granddaughter. Yeah, I figured that's who you were talking about. Yeah. So I know she's still seeing stuff, or at least still, not all the time, but every so often having a conversation. So, but they live in Kansas now. And she's here with her dad. She's now living here with her dad for a while. And me and her dad don't get along. So I can't go over and actually sit down and talk to her. I have to go through the ex and get with the ex and find out how to get a hold of him, but I need to spend time with her. They started school already, and I just saw their first day of school pictures. But yeah, I do believe she's gifted. I think my mom was, but she would never admit it. I know my grandmother was. Um, my dad's mother. Um, they, she kind of got labeled as a nut, but I've had conversations with her when I was younger, and it was obvious this lady knew things, seen things. So, and you know how people back then looked at people like that, wasn't very good, especially if you talked about her or felt threatened by something that they couldn't see. So, yeah. But, when you see that stuff, then there's a story that I was told by folks, if I remember right, on Diner, and I remember this story because they talked about their child. They lived out on a farm. I do remember it was at a diner. It was an older couple. They were talking about their daughter. They had a son and a daughter. The son had joined the service, and the daughter was graduating. Right before she graduated, she started seeing things. And I asked, was there like a specific day you remember her saying to you, "Mom, I'm seeing this stuff"? She goes, "No, it was just out of the blue." She had come home from school and kept talking about a student that didn't look like they belonged in school. And I was like, and she said to her daughter, she was like, "What do you mean?" She's like, he was wearing like old clothes. Looked like he had his pants rolled up. He was a t-shirt. He was carrying a leather jacket. He kind of looked kind of hoodie. Wasn't a good looking guy. But he kept wandering around the school. And I guess mom goes, the lady says, I asked her, I go, "Well, did he talk?" He goes, "No, he just kind of roamed around the school. I don't know if anybody saw him, but I could see him. But nobody talked to him." And she said that went on for like the whole school year until she graduated. And then she said the day they graduated, her daughter comes out of the graduation, after graduation was over. This is graduation day. After the graduation was over, and everybody, was standing around taking the pictures and stuff. She kept telling her mom, "He's standing over by the goalpost. He's standing over by the goalpost." She never saw him. Then I found out. Then she said she found out later, as because her daughter's older now. She said that every so often she sees this guy. So this guy that she saw in high school apparently has been following her through her life and only shows up every so often, which I find is weird. So this thing, or this, I'm taking that she's seen a ghost, has taken a liking to her. Maybe she reminded him of a past flame or something. But I would love to bump into these people again to see if she is still seeing him here and there. I thought you all fell asleep. They're all here. They're just listening. Am I telling people, if I'm putting the people to sleep? Yeah, it gets quiet. Not like that. It's all right. They all fell asleep. I talked so smooth and so goofy that everybody fell asleep. But I would love to talk to her. I never got to meet the daughter. I just talked to her parents. Her dad was like, the whole time her mom's telling me, the lady was telling me this about her daughter. The dad just kind of sat there like this. And I wanted to ask him what he thought of all this. But something in my gut said just to let it go. I know you're always around. And I'm glad to see you all again. Especially you. It's nice to see everybody coming and going. It's nice to see Nightmare back. It was good to see Black Dragon. You guys kind of do it like I do. You kind of wander off for a while and then come back. And I'm always lurking, always ghosting. It was funny. My dad had this lady that worked with him, an older woman that worked with him. He was a mechanic for Wonder Bread, and they'd have, these thrift stores. And a lot of times some of the mechanics would work in the back of the thrift stores that the bread trucks would come and go. They would have mechanic shops so they could take care of the bread trucks. With it, I would go and hang out. Most boys would go over and hang out with him sometimes, or he would go in and have to go back and take care of something. And the thrift store would be open. They always give us a bunch of stuff. And I was talking to this, her name was Ethel. She was sweet. And she said that she sees a headless person, that this thrift shop sat on a dead end, and at the end of the dead end was a railroad. And she said every morning when she pull in for about a month, she would see what looked like a headless person walking down the tracks. And she said, I'm not into this ghost stuff. This was getting to me. It happened like 6 mornings in a row. And then it kind of disappeared. And then it came back. So I started asking questions about railroad track. Has anybody passed on the railroad track? Did anybody lose their head on the railroad track? I mean, she said she was digging. Never found out anything. Where she said, finally, that stopped happening. She didn't see him anymore. Didn't see this thing. She made it a point to even show up early for work just to sit in her car to see if he would walk by. And it stopped. And then she said one night she was leaving for work, after work, leaving to go home. I'm sorry. She goes up to the car, and the building is like this, and you come out, and there's a parking lot in front of the thrift store, and then there's a parking lot, and then you go back in the back, and there's a garage area with all the bread trucks. And she would park over here, like right here, and just at the side of the building, but she could see the railroad tracks. And she got in a car and went to leave, and she noticed her walking down the railroad tracks. Well, it was just, I would take it probably about fall because the lights had kicked on. Unless she stayed and did inventory, because she didn't give me a time frame. She just said the lights were on at the end of the dead end. And when it walked underneath the lights, she goes, that's when I realized, and no wonder I couldn't find anything on this person. She goes, they had cowboy clothes on. It looked like something from a Western. They had jeans on, old jeans, looked like they were wearing spurs. She said, I could see it as clear as bell this time. Once it hit the light, it looked like he was holding a horse, but you could see a hand. You could see a line coming from the hand, but you couldn't see a horse. But it was walking like he was pulling a horse with him, but he had no head. All you could see had a handkerchief on. She said it looked bloody, but she couldn't tell. But it went down and disappeared. And she goes, probably not even in the records. This guy probably got butchered somewhere around here. And he just trying to go home, or he's looking for his head. But she said after that, she never saw him again. I go, that would have been a good Ohio ghost story, because these people were always looking for this stuff. She goes, what's weird is it just, I never noticed it, unless it was happening every morning. I just never noticed it until that day, and then started looking for it. But she said, what got me was when it stopped. When it stopped, I figured, maybe it's just like, something that happens certain times of the year or something, because you hear about it. It was weird. She said it was weird because once she realized it was something that was like way back, she goes, no wonder I can find no records on anything here about anybody. Because, she figured it was somebody that lost her, head over the tracks, or somebody got ran over by a train. Oh, you're welcome. It ain't got any real jobs, so I'm always here unless camping or they don't let me do much either. I miss my job so much. I was a screen printer. I worked for Bonanza for 15 years, and I was a screen printer for a place called Airwaves. We used to do car shows. A lot of the fairs you used to go to where they had the press, iron press to press up T-shirts. You'd pick out your what shirt you wanted, what design. A lot of those came from Airwaves. I don't know if folks remember Roach T-shirts. They used to do the Keep On Trucking and the Daddy Husband. Same company. I missed that job. I loved that job. I loved both jobs. I actually liked working in a restaurant, but I missed printing so bad. And I keep begging them to let me go back. See ghosts like all those people who used to stand in front of the yard and neighbor's backyard every night and had long dress, nice clothes, hats, like a social reference. There's a trucker. That reminds me of a story a trucker was telling me at a rest stop down by Cincinnati, coming out of Cincinnati going into Kentucky. He said that he was in Atlanta and his family had took a tour of some of the old plantations and stuff all along the south, but they got to this really nice place. I believe he said outside Atlanta. He didn't say exactly where, and there wasn't much people at this place. He said it was very few, but it was a beautiful place. He said that him and his wife, kids were playing on they had a playground up front, like a little area for kids. And they went to walk around the house and the gardens where kids were playing. They were old enough to be left alone. It wasn't like they were leaving little ones. And they were walking around the property and they both stopped and realized, oh, there's a wedding party going on. So they went to approach the wedding party to get as close to see if they could see a wedding, see who was getting married or what was going on. She said as they got closer, they started the people started to fade. And once they got close enough, they were gone. But they could still hear talking and music. He goes, the guy said he looked at his wife, and the truck goes, I looked at my wife and I said, it's time to go. So they got in the car and left. But he's pretty sure that's what he saw was some kind of social function from who God knows how long. And that's some crazy stuff. There's this one story this trucker told me. He was coming out of the Badlands and said that he was cruising and this thing ran across the road. Didn't think nothing of it, figured it was an animal. A couple more down the road, another one crossed the other way. And he didn't think anything about it. Kept driving, going, man, there's a lot of animals out. And he wasn't paying attention to what it was or if it was big or small. He would just see it run just at that headlight point. And goes down a little farther and come back the other way. And then he started realizing this is the same thing. What the heck's going on? Where he gets a little farther up the road and it runs across the road this time, but this time it stops on the other side of the road as he starts to passes it. He said this might have been a skinwalker. I have no idea. But he said this thing was nasty looking. It was all on all fours. He said it looked human, but it didn't look human. And he said it stood up. And when he said it stood up, it was like 7 foot tall and long arms. And he said as he slowed down, because he slowed down to see what it was, he sped up because he said this drool was just coming out of his mouth. And he said, I was gone. I didn't want to look at it. He said, I now go around, South Dakota. Yeah. He said he didn't. He totally avoids that area now when he goes all the way around. He said he's seen some really weird stuff. He's pretty sure he's seen plenty of UFOs out there. It was a ganji. You think so? You think it might have been what he saw? He said it freaked him out. He said it was nasty looking. He said he's seen some pretty weird stuff. He said that was just, he said it totally caught him off guard. Totally caught him off guard. He didn't say if it had weird knees. He just said when it stood up, it was on all fours. And when it stood up, he said it almost looked like it was 7 foot tall. Because he said as soon as it stood up and looked at him, He gassed the truck and it was gone. He said he was shifting gears and going. Never mind. But yeah, it's possible that's what it was. I've heard a lot of weird stuff come out of the Badlands. A lot of weird stuff. So yeah, now from a lot of truckers too. This one guy was telling a friend of mine who told me the story. The friend told me, he said this guy this trucker was going through there, and he said the sky was literally changing colors from green to red to orange to green, red, and orange. He said it wasn't just a little part of the sky, it was the whole sky. And it was like making the stars look all screwy and everything. He said he never wanted to get out of there, get off those roads as bad as he ever had. He said he didn't know what was going on, but he goes, and this is before they even talked about a glitch in the Matrix. And he said, I don't know what was going on, but I did not feel like I was on Earth for a while. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, truckers do have some great stories. They see weird stuff. The police, Blue will tell you, they've seen that. And my uncle was a Chillicothe officer. He has made references. He's done gone now, but he's made references of some of the weird stuff that he has seen. I heard him tell a story to one of my brothers about how they show up at his house. There had been a gun issue, and somebody was unalived. And they get to the house, and they're doing the reports and making arrests. There was no major scene, there wasn't like a gun. They just guy admitted that he did it, and they arrest him, and they leave. And he's there, with detectives taking notes and stuff. And all of them said they stood there and heard the body say, yeah, he did it. As clear as bear. And they all swear it came from that body. That it said that they literally for a second, clear as bell, said, yeah, he did it, bastard. I was going to say the rest. I'll probably get in trouble. But Area 51. You just missed Ryan, unless he's hiding in the background somewhere. Obi-Wan Kenobi. How you doing there, bud? I haven't gotten a hold of you, Ron, because things have changed a little bit. I still want to have you on, but we're just waiting until Gemma comes back. And Ryan took a little bit of a break. So hopefully just hang tight, because I still want to have you on, because I think Ryan wants to hear your story as much as you want to tell it to him. So just hang tight. That's why I haven't emailed you back, and I did get your email. I've just been super busy too. So just hang in there, Mr. Juan, because you'll get your chance. Okay? I was hoping you'd pop in. I wanted to tell you personally. Sometimes I think email's a little informal. That way I get a chance to say hello to you too. So just hang in there, bud. Yeah, like I said, you just missed Ryan. Unless he's still listening. Who knows? Actually, he's probably in the corner eating Cheetos. Or coffee and cake. One of the two. That man always seems to have coffee and cake. How you doing tonight, Ron? Juan? We got about 5 minutes left. I hope I kept you guys entertained a little bit. I know I'm dwindling down to 5 now, so they must have wound up in that great. But I'm getting there. Give me time to get used to doing this. Like I said, I'm not a very good storyteller. I try my best. Plus, I do have issues talking, so just bear with me through them. I do still get a little scream. Believe it or not, I still get nervous doing this. So, but I love doing it. And like I said, it's kind of therapy for me. And I love all you guys, folks are fantastic hanging out with me during the nights. And I'm glad I give you guys some place kind of casual to go. And don't ever feel that if you don't feel like listening to me tell a story, then we can just chat all night too. So I go either way. I at least try to make Wednesday night. I just try to do something with Wednesday nights instead of make them chill and chat. Because a lot of times that's what happens after Gemma's replay. We might talk about the videos. A lot of times we just end up gabbing all night. But I wanted to put a little something into this too on Wednesday. Make it worth you guys coming. And my stories will get better because there's plenty of them. And I've been told plenty of them. I'm also trying to figure out a way to kind of like give me like a list, kind of hint. I'm trying to title. It's hard to title some of these stories. So I'm trying to give myself a little title as I go through some of the ones I've written down, some of the ones I remember I've been writing down so I keep them fresh in my head. And hopefully I get some good ones. I got good ones. I just try to spread things out because it's not like every day I had an experience, but I've had my share. If you folks have experiences, please send them to Gemma. You know, everything's in her emails in the description. So if you got encounters you'd like to share, please send them to Gemma for listener encounters. I love those. I love the listener encounters. I love listening to other people's stories. I think, you know, that's always been a thing for me. I'm a good listener, so I like to listen. I'm a better listener than I am a talker. I'm not going to deny that. So please send them to Gemma, GemmaJadeParanormal at gmail.com. Like I said, it's in the thing. Remember, tomorrow's Miss Pixie. She'll be here at 8 tomorrow night. Sorry, drew a blank. Gemma and I should say, will be here Friday night. The lovely list keeper. Gemma's at her best on Friday nights. And yeah, I'm going to talk to her because I think she's now noticing a lot of people are copying her. Actually, she got the idea from somebody else. She was nice enough to go to that person and ask if she didn't mind her doing that and what would be the best night, which I thought was really nice of her. But yeah, oracle reading, tarot reading has become big. I've noticed even over on Rumble and some of the other platforms, it's starting to blow up there too. A lot of it's tarot though. I only seen a couple of oracles, but most of it's been tarot. But yeah, it is blowing up, and I noticed that there are some people out there that seem to copy her, which is flattering, and she should take it that way. But me and Gemma Friday night, Gemma and I, at 7:15, been lasting about 10:30, 11 o'clock. Just please get your name on the list by 9:30. Try to show up early because she starts at 7:15, but she has been starting about 7 o'clock. If she can get on early, she's been getting on early. I'll be here hopefully Saturday night. I have a few things I have to do Saturday, and I'm hoping it don't poop me out. But I plan on being here at midnight for Gemma's replays. I'm going to play the other half of the one I did. I believe I have another half to play from the one last week. I have to go back and look on my note. And then Sunday night, Miss Gemma will be on with Wayne and Michelle on Bigfoot, Michigan sightings and Bigfoot and sightings. You all know Michelle and Wayne. I've had it up here. If I have to post it again, I will. In fact, that's not a bad idea, actually. Hold on one sec before I go off here. I'm going to smoke a cigarette with you guys, and then I'm going to log off. Yeah, let me get that up here so I can put it up here for the last couple minutes I'm here. I want to promote her interview. She'll be talking about her books. The 2 new ones. Remember, order those books. Leave a review. Gone 3's out. Why didn't it go? Campfire Stories, 3's out. So check them out. I love her books. They're very good. She's setting a good standard for herself. She keeps it up. It'll be nice. Let me pop this up here before I leave. Here we go. And that's her interview Saturday night at 8 on Michelle and Wayne's. Paranormal Podcast. So just check them out. They're great, folks. I love them to death. I do watch them. I don't leave. I've kind of backed off on leaving comments because sometimes I've noticed some of my comments don't even show up when I gone back. So I don't leave too many comments. Unless I really think I have something to say. But I always go in and leave a like and listen and watch the whole thing. So I do watch a lot of replays. So check her out. And I hope to see you folks here tomorrow night for Miss Pixie. Anybody got anything they'd like to suggest? Something I could bring up in the future? When is Gemma going to do going on that show? Wednesday night. I mean, not Wednesday night, Sunday night at 8. Yeah, let me do this. I could do this too. They're great. They're a great couple. They're great. So I like going in. They have a pretty good versatility of guests and stuff. Let me do this. Here's the link for that stream, that particular stream. But go check them out. Awfully nice people. Think the world of them. They are good people. Always treat Gemma really well. Everybody that's done an interview with her seems to have a good time with her. And she does bring life to her channel, especially when she gets to rambling. But it's right there, Ron. I go check it out. They're good. Their shows are pretty good. They've had some pretty good guests on. They've had some pretty interesting guests on too. But again, the last few people I've watched have had some really, I don't know if I want to say out of this world guests, but definitely interesting people on their shows. So yeah, but Wayne, Michelle, they're great people. They, I can't say enough about them because they're always super nice. Wayne's a super nice guy. Michelle's a lovely lady. So yeah, go check it out. Yeah, they do a pretty mild stream. They don't get a pretty good Michigan UFO and Paranormal. Yes, they changed their name back. I was kind of bummed. I kind of like their new name, but you go with what works for you, what you know best, and that's what they know best, and that's fine. They're great people, anyways. I've noticed their subscriber count is starting to go up, which is nice to see. But there are so many of these channels. You think there's a lot of competition on all these other channels, gaming channels, all that stuff. I was shocked. One day, I just, for the fun of it, wanted to see how many paranormal channels there was. Oh my gosh. And we're not even, and just this country alone is insane. But when you start adding in the other countries, wow. And this stuff's real big in Mexico and South America, but they're highly superstitious people anyways. So, and some of the stuff that comes out of those places, I'm trying to figure out how to help Gemma so she wants to do, breakdowns where she watches videos and talks about them, the reaction videos. She wants to do one. And you want to find stuff that people haven't seen. Certainly, probably I watch these channels and I've seen that video like next time. It's like, come on, folks. See, I'm a big fan, Ron way. Actually, that's how I stumbled on still, I kind of blanked out there. There's still a couple channels I follow. I don't know what's going on with the internet. Not happening all the time. Anyways, there are some channels her second video. I don't even know if she still has that particular video still posted on her page, but it was cute. But I was like, she's got something. And then I kind of, she was doing her stuff for addiction then. talking about helping the people with addiction and stuff. Yeah, it's freezing again. I know. It should clear it up. I'm really thinking because my internet is showing really good, strong signal, so it's got to be StreamYard. Yeah, because I noticed I got all fuzzy again because I'm watching YouTube too. I don't watch it because I only watch the chat part and I scroll up to hide my face. But every so often I'll check that to see what your guys are seeing, and it's blurry again. And I even had everything set to the highest quality, which this camera is capable of doing. So I know it's not my connection, so it's got to be StreamYard. But anyways, I'm babbling now. Now I forgot what I was saying. But yeah, I love the small channel, but I stumbled on her. I stumbled on a couple. But see, that's the thing. I've been with YouTube since its beginning as a follower. Even before it was YouTube. So yeah, I always dug it. I have tried to start a channel a couple times and never did. But I think now if I start a channel, I'm going to have to go to the other place. I don't like you saying the R word. I kept saying it tonight, but because I'm a little more vocal about things, and I'm pretty reserved here about a lot of stuff. And some of the stories that I would like to tell are a little more gruesome, and I'm not that great of a storyteller, so I tend to get a little bit more vocal because I'm not a great storyteller. So it's like I get a little more too detailed. So I think I'd have to be on another platform to tell some of those things. So yeah, I was like, there was a time that we were coming home from my Aunt Glad and Uncle Waters in New Lex, Ohio, and watched a van roll on the other side of the highway and hit another car. It was a mess. We all stopped to get out. Me, my dad, and my little brother and my mom stayed in the car, but me and my two older brothers and dad went over to try to help it. It was a mess. But some weird things happened trying to help these people that I think even freaked my dad out. But it was pretty gruesome. It was not a pleasant sight. The only thing on art is people don't get that many views who are huge in here. Actually, yeah. YouTube has changed a lot. Got a little bit more greedy. So the people that really get the main picks of the feeds, and you got to remember, a lot of this is algorithm driven. But some of these people that have been with YouTube for a while, they keep them around because they draw money. Unless they screw up like what's going on with Mr. Beast and some of these other things that are starting to pop up now. Because eventually you make a lot of money if you don't behave yourself or keep a set of frame of mind and keep the weirdos and the craziness out of. This is what happens, because eventually it will come. But anyways, those guys have all been with YouTube for the beginning. And then the other ones are those people that like 6 years ago found that one knack that people love, and they boomed right off the bat. So it's just finding your glitch, finding out where you're your best. Yeah, Sniper Wolf. She's cute, but she's a whack job. Yeah, she's physically okay, but mentally, but see, that's money for you. And we won't even go on the. I was going to try streaming on Twitch once, and it was like, nah, it's crazy there. I know a lot of those people are established too, and then Twitch is not even what it used to be. Nut job, yep, yes, she is, and you get that. There's a couple of them. They're only making money is because of what they look like. And it's sad to say that, and I don't want to sound like some Manly Man or whatever. But I see more. Yeah, Rumble has started off that way. But once you really start to look around, you will start seeing other stuff, and it's starting to come in. So give it time. People are starting to realize that may not. It's not that I don't like YouTube anymore. It's just because they're cracking down, and it's going to get worse once we get closer to elections. They're going to be a little bit more sensitive, and they are trying to censor people, and that's why a lot of people are going to those political people are going to those sites. But I'm also noticing the smaller channels that are not doing the best here are going over to Rumble and streaming and actually doing really well. So it's not all politics, but I would say probably 60%, 70% of Rumble right now is, but it's changing and it's growing. Just give it time. Because like I said, I've been in there and I've been looking around. I was shocked to see how many tarot card readers there were on. There are plenty of paranormal channels starting to pop over there. So that's a good thing. It takes new platforms a while to really prosper and grow. It took YouTube a while. It didn't just happen over, a year. It took time for YouTube to be where it is, to be as powerful as it is, I should say. Because the bulk of this type of videos are watched on YouTube. So, and you have a YouTube format in probably just about every nation in one form or another. So, but yeah, right now I think it is too. But I'm noticing more and more that I go over and start subscribing to new people and stuff over there. It is changing. You're starting to see a little bit more gamer streamers. You're going to start seeing your everyday Joes over there. But then again, there's a lot of times on my feed, that's all I get is political stuff, both sides. And I'm in between. I'm not a Republican nor a Democrat. I vote for what I think is best for me and my country. At the end of the day, it's up to us to discern the truth. That's the truth about that, Ron. Always say, do your own research, form your own opinion. Because in this world, you're not going to ever get direct truth, except for friends, true friends. So, yeah, I agree with that statement. You know what, folks? I'm going to go ahead and call it. I thank you, Ron, and Nightmare, and everybody else, Area 51, Latro. I know I've come and gone already. Shelly, thank you for hanging out. Sassy Sniper, thank you for hanging out. Who else showed up? Ryan. Hi, Ryan. Just kidding, Ryan. Everybody that's kind of hung out in the background, thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. Please have a wonderful day tomorrow. Hopefully, I'll see you with Miss Pixie tomorrow night at 8, right here on Gemma and channel. And enjoy little Miss Pixie. She's such a sweetheart. And I will be in the background, just kind of watching chat and making sure she doesn't have any problems. I'm usually in chat just to kind of oversee and make sure she can see her stuff and she needs what she needs. And then I'll see you also Friday night. Folks, have a wonderful one. Please sleep well. Thank you all for joining me tonight. I hope you enjoyed yourself a bit. My stories, I'm trying to spread them out. I'm trying to get better at this. I've even been practicing. So bear with me as I grow with you guys. And like I said, we can always make this chat too. If we're not in day listening to stories all night, don't be afraid. Hey, let's just chat tonight. But anyways, good night. Have a wonderful. See you guys tomorrow. Be safe. Be well. Be blessed. You folks.